Good morning, my friends. This is Michele Grove. I'm the Interim Director of Religious Education with the Unitarian Universalist Church in Urbana-Champaign. It is August 19th, 2020. It is a lovely morning. I've actually been able to put on a sweater because it got down into the 50s last night. And for me, that's a joy. It also might say that we're getting close to the end of summer. And for many of us, that brings excitement as new things begin in the fall, but it also might bring a lot of anxiety, especially this year, because this year is a very different and challenging time. We are still in the midst of the pandemic, and in the midst of that, we are doing church and school and life differently. So welcome to this message, because this message is to update you on what is happening this fall for lifespan religious education. We invite you to intersect with these opportunities, because not only will they bring learning to you, but they'll also bring an opportunity to build relationships. Yes, it's true. Even in the midst of our shelter in place, in the midst of us trying to be very careful, we can still engage and build deep relationships. And here are some of those places where that can happen. So first of all, it's important to know that our lifespan religious education program is for children, youth, adult, and everybody mixed up. It's a neat kind of place where learning is intertwined for all people. Learning at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign is not siloed to the basement. Learning happens everywhere we are. It happens during worship. It happens when we have conversations in a committee meeting. It happens when we meet somebody, when we're out walking. And even though we might have to stay socially distant, in those few moments, it's amazing what we can learn. So my hope is that you will engage in religious education learning programs, but I also hope that you will recognize that by being a part of this community, learning is valued and happens all the time. So for adults, keep an eye open. We're still in formation on where this program is going to go, but there will be many different opportunities this fall. For example, Jenny Hunt is leading a Theology Ablaze class, which will begin in September. There'll be a class on the 7 principles. There are social justice, racial justice, immigration justice opportunities, and a new program that some of these will be for adults, but some will be multi-generational, called Popcorn Theology, which is times where we can watch movies and discuss. We've experimented with a new model on how to do this during the pandemic, and we think it's going to be a lot of fun. So watch for that as well. I also encourage you to watch for 2 programs sponsored by our Welcoming Congregations Committee that look at transgender and non-binary identity. One of them is a book study, and the other one is a long study called Transforming Hearts. So those things will be opportunities, and we will have some discussions around them. There'll be several youth religious education opportunities as well. Emily McCown is our youth coordinator. Emily is on a 10-month contract, so she will be back on September 1st after being away for the summer, and will start to gear up with youth leadership around some neat and creative ways for the youth to be in education, learning, and fellowship. Also, for the middle high age, you'll want to look for a coming of age program that should be really exciting. It is important to know that one of the programs in our congregation that has a lot of energy, excitement, and community outreach is the Our Whole Lives program. This program, for more than 20 years, has focused on middle-high comprehensive sexuality education and is now just expanding to include children and adult components. However, it's important for our congregation to understand that the Our Whole Lives program is designed as an in-person program. And with the way we are right now in the pandemic, it cannot be done safely or effectively because it's a part of that relationship building and picking up those cues that are so important to this program. And so because of that, the traditional Our Whole Lives program is on hold, and we're discerning the next steps with parents and leaders. It is possible that one of the adult offerings will be a parenting caregiver as sexual education program. So keep an eye out for that. And also watch for those places where Our Whole Lives might be able to gather. Now, here's the other thing that I want everybody to know. We are working on making sure that those who were to take Our Whole Lives this year and who are looking forward to it will not lose out. We are organizing so that when we are finished with pandemic and we can safely gather, maybe that's the better way to put it, because I don't know when we're going to be finished with the pandemic. But when we can safely gather, then at that point, we will make sure that this program has enough advisors and leaders and trainers and groups to encompass all those who want to be a part. We are working actively on that right now so that when that time comes, we can step into motion quickly. Our children's education program will have several different components. Normally, we have classes that meet on Sunday morning while worship is happening, but that's not going on now. So watch for some of these things. For example, there will be learning information and opportunities that will correspond with worship. So during worship, children are always welcome to attend, and there might be some things that they can do so that while they're listening and taking in the worship service, they also have their own learning opportunities in which to do at the same time. Last year, for example, one of our guest speakers did an intergenerational worship service where she had this great activity with a chalice, and everybody could decorate that chalice while they were listening to the worship service. Things like that. So watch for those creative options on both the live stream page and on the web page, which has children religious education offerings. There's a greater focus on multi-generational, so watch for family opportunities. For example, one of the things we may do are some learning scavenger hunts and adventures. Popcorn Theology is multi-generational. We also have a group that's working on a storytelling channel. And we think that we will reintroduce the Collage program this fall. During the summer, we've had 16 families, more than 58 participants, engage in Collage. It is a program that happens at home, and it's a look and a study into the 7 principles. And there are opportunities to intersect with others at that point. So, for example, we have a giant kudo board, which is an online board where people can share pictures of their work and people can comment and engage in conversation. We're hoping that maybe we can do this and other kinds of religious education opportunities for families. It's important to know that this is all programming. And while this program is happening, we are in the midst of a discernment process about the future of lifespan religious education and the professionals which lead that program and work with the volunteer lay leadership. I am an interim religious educator, which means that I am here with you for a short time. I am here to guide this process of understanding our history and our identity and looking into the future, and with courage and excitement saying, what kind of learning do we want to have? This is the 3rd year of this process. So one of the things that you can watch this year is we will have a search process led by Florence Kaplow, our minister and the chief of staff. So as Florence works with a team to do a search, I will continue to work with those as we engage in this last year of understanding who we are, where learning incorporates into our community, and where we're going in the future. I look forward to this. And please contact me at any point if you have ideas, if you have things you would like to talk about. I am here. So, what are some of these interim goals? For me, leadership development is the key. We've had some amazing religious education leadership over the past couple of years, and some of that leadership has been in place for a long time. These leaders have brought strength and vision and dedication to the religious education program of this congregation. So in addition to the great work that they have given, my hope is that we can expand that further. Each of you has a leader inside of you, and that leader comes out in different ways. A leader doesn't always have to be in front of people. A leader comes with their passion. So one of my goals is to develop programming that has solid leadership, and leadership that's excited about what they're doing, not leadership that feels like they just have to do it. So watch for those opportunities and let me know if there's something that excites you. We can talk about that. The other thing is strengthening our religious education council, because that council is the thing that will guide in tandem with the religious education professionals. We all work together to make this program. It doesn't fall on just one set of shoulders. So watch for those opportunities, and I invite you to join in. Thank you, my friends. It is so good to be with you, and I look forward to the opportunities where we will be together this year.